former secretary, and a very nice year. I'm humbled by your presence, sir, and thank you for your presence, sir. And friends, I've been asked to talk about the strategy for clearing the civil service examination. To start with, let me introduce myself. I'm Anand. I was secured 67th rank this year, and my optionals are public administration and psychology. So to start with, this year the UPSC has reported that there are more than 4 lakh candidates who applied for close to 700 posts. So the probability of any person getting into this elite group of civil servants is close to 0.1%, right? So let's face it, this is not going to be easy. But there's a silver lining too. It's not the 4 lakh candidates you're up against. The real competition for this 700 posts is confined to close to 10,000 people only who are really putting real effort and who are in the race. So that's the silver lining. So don't get too daunted by these figures. So to enhance your probability of being in this particular service, you'll have to enhance the probability of 0.1 is a 2 major figure, right? So there are a lot of factors that determine your success in your examination. In my opinion, the first primary determinant of success is the choice of optionals. So that's the most important determinant. By and large, it is better to stick on to popular options like public administration, sociology has done well, political science, psychology, geography, and these have done relatively well over the past so many years. So the safest option is to stick on to what people do. Don't try to do things different, right? What are the determinants you need to look for while choosing an option? The first and foremost is the compactness of syllabus. I don't know how many of you here have gone through the syllabus to start with. Many people start with the book first and look for the syllabus later. The first point you need to do is looking for the syllabus. The compactness of the syllabus. Compactness in the sense, there are certain options which are compact in nature. For example, geography. There's nothing much analytical about it, right? There are no, political science, rather political science, sociology are quite vast options. And it has its own advantages. But my choice, I would suggest you to go for a compact syllabus like public administration should do good, right? The second determinant is availability of materials and availability of quality guidance. In terms of all the popular options I have listed here, you get very good quality material in Chennai itself. It's not that, there were times when people said, Delhi Chalo was the only mantra. If you want to be a civil servant, go to Delhi. That was the prime determinant of success. Nowadays, for the past 5 to 6 years, there have been a spurt of lot of quality institutes in Chennai itself. Right? So, I would suggest you to just stay back in Chennai if you're going to stick on to the popular options. If you're going for anthropology or some other syllabus, optionals, I don't think Chennai right now offers quality guidance. But for the common or popular options, you can think of staying back in Chennai. Delhi has one advantage in the sense, many times in Chennai, we have a lot of friends, we have a lot of commitments, right? We spend time with the friends. If you go to Delhi, the friends you get are those from the institute only, right? You have all the commitments to meet. So you are more focused there. That's the only advantage I can see for going to Delhi and staying there. Beyond which I don't think in terms of quality, in terms of expertise available, Delhi doesn't hold an edge now, right? And you might be aware of the scheme of examination, right? The prelims, the mains, and the personality test. And each of these are qualitatively different. The way to approach a prelim is totally different from which you approach a main, and personality test comes last. You can't prepare for a personality test over a period of 2 months or something like that. It has to be a constant process. So make some effort to make yourself a very presentable personality, right? Yes. And in terms of the number of marks you're looking at, for example, my rank is 67. My mark was 1,267, right? The last mark for OBC was 1159. In a matter of 150 marks, there are close to about 350 candidates. So it's quite every mark counts in an examination and it determines which service you get, which state you are allotted to. So you try to optimize your marks. Yes. Am I being too fast here? Yeah. So I would like, many people start from the prelims. I will ask you to start as a backward mapping. First look at what total you want. 1100 plus in a main examination is attainable, provided you have right guidance and stick on to the right materials, right? In the sense, when I say about right material, I mean the market has so many materials available, right? For economics, they suggest so many books. For polity, they suggest books. Where quality guidance can help is to know which material not to study. Don't go for too many books. Stick on to very standard books they suggest, and I suggest you to read and go through the book again and again rather than going for 3 to 4 books. Reading 4 to 5 books is not going to add any value to it. So I would suggest you to stick on to certain standard books, go through it again and again, and have a clarity of what you study, right? I'll just suggest, jot down a few important points to note. I'll just give a brief outline of that. This examination is not as tough as people make it to be. It's quite simple. It needs a systematic effort. It doesn't need super intellectuals. It doesn't need IITians. It needs very simple persons with systematic method of study, right? There are a lot of myths around this civil service examination. So try to demystify everything. Be very simple in preparation, right? Yes. With regard to, there are many people have different strategies to approach this examination. Certain people say you don't need to go through daily papers, you don't need to go through your magazines. It is better to stick on to standard notes which certain institutes provide. That is one strategy which I don't quite approve of. I would suggest you to be very systematic in preparation. Right? Reading Hindu and Frontline is non-negotiable. You have to stick on to that every day. And while you read any news item, try to find out what are the facts that can be asked in examination. For example, 2 days ago, there was something related to child rights. Anyone aware of? Child rights? There was an article, last 2 days it was about child rights. And when you read an article about child rights, try to find out which facts can be asked. Right? That's the first step. And the second step is try to find out and try to construct hypothetical questions about how a particular fact can be asked. Right? Many times UPSC just outwits you because you just you read a fact, you try to retain a fact, you just don't go the step beyond that. What I would suggest you is take a fact, hypothetical questions, construct around a particular fact, go to the next level of questioning. Right? So that can hold you better while you face a competitive examination. The next one is work schedules. Excuse me. Yeah. Having a work schedule is quite important. Have daily work schedules. Many people say that they prepare for 8 to 12 hours, 16 hours. That's not needed. 4 to 6 hours of constant effort, I think is more than sufficient. The thing is, you need to know which to study, which not to study. Right? So if you're clear about what you want, the particular time frame of 4 to 6 hours is even more than sufficient to see the previous examination. Right? Written practice. More than what you know, what is the paper is going to be a reflection of your knowledge. It's not what you know that counts, it is how much you're able to present in a paper in a duration of 3 hours that is going to determine your success. Right? So try to go to the past question papers and work out the answers, present your answers, personalize your answers. That's the most important thing. Don't just go by the answers given in a standard guide. You can take it for an example and you need to to personalize the answers. Unless your answers stand out from the rest, you're not going to get marks. Right? So personalizing your answers is very, very important. Have proper written practice. You need to manage your time. You need to manage your material. And these things determine your success. Yes. And the last and important thing, the role of institutes. What is the role the institute can play?